one to keep up with this movement. Grand risings to all of the children of the Most High. You know, it's easy to ride on a motorcycle when you're going straight. Anybody who's ever ridden on a motorcycle knows that you have to move like the rider is moving. It's easy to do that when we're going straight. But when we get in them turns, you got to be able to move your body. Because otherwise, we're going to lose you in the turn. You've been fell off. Well, I'm taking y'all through some turns right now. So I need y'all to hang on and stay with me. Because I'm going to move in a way like most people don't move. You will not tie me directly to a clock that makes me too much of a target that's too easy to hit. You'll never see me go the same way that I came because that makes me too easy a target to hit. You won't even see me wearing the same thing that I wore when I left because that makes me too easy a target to hit. And I decided not to be the gringos because if I speak the same language, I might be too easy a target to hit. I'm on my morning mental this morning, and I'd like to wish all of you all a grand rising. This is a private session. Don't bother telling your friends that's not a member of my group already. They can't get in, and I'm not letting nobody in right now. I just want to talk to my family. I want to talk to y'all who woke up this morning feeling like you don't know how you're going to make it. You don't know if you can take no more. If I had to put a title on my talk this morning for your morning mental, it would be the bruh that sat behind the door. The bruh that sat behind the door. Yeah. Old school people know what I'm talking about. The bruh sat behind the door. Brothers and sisters, it's written down somewhere that we should be slow to anger. But when we do respond swiftly and decisively. Take no prisoners and leave the issue closed. This technology that y'all have that you're now using to see me used to be something that we used to just dream of when we was kids. Now you can lay in bed and reach over and pick up a piece of silicone with a screen on it, and now you can see me thousands of miles away like I'm in the room with you. Now through this window, this portal of technology, you can actually have me talk to you just as if I'm in the room with you, as if I'm in your ear, as if I'm in your mind, as if I'm in your heart. I can touch your soul without touching you. I can massage your mind from miles away. I can have intellectual intercourse with you, and nobody knows but me and you. This technology. Just remember, I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. A lot of y'all don't know what that means. Let me break it down to you if you don't know what the bruh who sat behind the door is. You see, I've been inside of every part of this black experience. I've seen the good side and the bad side. I've been on the stupid side and I've been on the super intelligent side. I have seen the truth and I know the lie. I've been a victim of the system and I've been a victimizer of the system. I've been the perpetrator and I've been the victim. I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. I was raised in the hood, baptized by fire through fights, lessons learned, poverty, and all those things. But I've also sat in some of the highest corporate seats and earned figures that some people can't even begin to comprehend, and I've seen the bias, and I've been the decision maker. I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. I've held security clearances, I've worn the uniform, I've taken oaths, and I've seen things and done things that you could never even begin to imagine. All in the defense of an idea that I believed in until I knew better. Because I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. I learned things I never would have learned. I gained a new perspective on the world. And in the world, I've walked places some of you all would never even get a chance to see. I've done things that people dream of. I've been held in high esteem and I've been hated to the depths of hell. I've seen us at our best. I've seen us when we can truly unite. But I've also seen how caustic we can be, and I've been the victims of that acid, and I've thrown it myself. I'm the bruh. Sit behind the door. If you know the story, then you know what eventually happens to the bruh behind the door. He suddenly begins to realize that it's all a lie. And so he started to get his people together to confront the lie. You know, if you never read the book To Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper, I advise you to get it. It's required reading for all of us. And if I could be so kind, my sweet children, to read a little bit to you, because I know y'all got your brains on this morning. I think that I would start somewhere. If you have a copy, please grab yours, because, you know, a lot of times I don't want y'all to believe what I tell you. I want you to research it yourself. Somewhere where they talk about the secret government. You know, William Cooper is a smart man. That's why they killed him. They always kill the smart guys. The problem is they weren't anticipating the bruh that sat behind the door. You see, I realized early in life that the only way I was ever going to defeat what I saw was to become a part of it. The only way that I could learn how my enemy worked was to become a part of my enemy. The only way I could get the answers to the questions that they wouldn't tell us was to go get those answers myself. And a lot of y'all don't know how to be a chameleon. You don't know how to shift the vernacular of your speech to fit in with whoever you're around. You don't know how to put on a mask that makes you look like you're one of them when all the time you're nothing more than the bruh that sat behind the door. And now when you put all those pieces together, whether it's the military, corporate America, hip-hop in the music industry, living in the hood, the black man experience, the pro-black movement, and just being a victim of all of the systems that they've unleashed on us in the last 40, 50 years. If you got all those pieces and put them together, it's very easy for you to figure out how you become the brother or the sister that sat behind the door. What's on the other side of this door? Well, I'll tell you what's on the other side of this door. War, death, confusion, bloodshed, liberation. Because the bruh that sits behind the door, he's the one that if he opens this door, he's equipped to deal with anything that's on the other side. Now, fortunately, I can't go all by myself. I need y'all to go with me. So I'm going to read a little something to you to show you just how asleep you are. And then we're going to find out how many of y'all I can get to join me behind the door. Shout out to NFAC. Shout out to NFAC. It's that time. We making preps. Stay tuned. He says, another plan is force. It is a plan to prepare the public for eventual confrontation. Think about what they just said. It's part of the plan. Listen what they said here. They said for many years, the government has been importing drugs and selling them to the people, mainly the poor and the minorities. Social welfare programs were put into place to create a dependent, non-working element in our society. The government then begins to remove these programs to force people into a criminal class that did not exist in the 50s and the 60s. Let me stop right there and break that down for y'all. Grand rising to all. Listen what they said, that they put the drugs in your community. So if you got somebody in your family that's strung out on drugs, if you got somebody in your family that's hooked up on something that's just real nasty that they can't kick, just look around. It doesn't grow in your neighborhoods. It has to come from somewhere. Then what ends up happening is that once you get hooked on it, the effects of that infiltrate your neighborhood. That's what they did to us with crack in the 80s, for y'all who weren't around to talk about it or to experience it. And when they did that, they destroyed us to the point where they then had to give you welfare. You know, they give you the path of least resistance. Don't work. Come on down here. We got something for you. You know, ain't nothing out there for you no way. They told you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but you got flip flops, so you can't do that. You ain't got no straps to pull on. So they throw you welfare with all these crazy rules. And what they do is they create a dependent, non-working element in our society. It's funny how white people like to point the finger at black people. We're like, we the only ones on welfare. Do you know who 80% of the people on welfare is? It's white people. But remember, society don't care when you're the ultimate target. They said then the government would take those programs away, cut off your food stamps, cut off your welfare, cut off whatever type of money you had become dependent on. And that, in turn, eliminates your pipeline of income, no matter how small it might be. Y'all listen up now. I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. And what happens is your needs don't go away. I'm on my morning mental. You still got to eat, sleep, and you know the rest. You got to have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. You got to have food to eat, and you got to have some wheels. And you realize that because they took away your whatever it was they was giving you, you now resort to criminality. So you wonder why crime is high in the black community. You all are the victims of a system that's designed to turn you into criminals. It's designed to make you into drug addicts. It's designed to make you go to get on public assistance. It's by design. Things aren't bad just because they bad. Then y'all see what happened when we went into the quarantine. The world began to repair itself. It did not need us. None of these systems meant a thing. That was a break from the matrix. A lot of y'all thought we were in the matrix. No, they put you on pause so that they could reset the machine, and you came right back out and got into it and started dancing. And now all of a sudden you're caught up in it like a wash machine, and you don't realize that you are being forced into criminality, forced into being dependent, forced into welfare, forced by keeping certain things from you like jobs, education, equal housing, those type things, even, but most important, political power to determine your own destiny. Those things are what's being kept from you. Everything else is an aggravation to force you into those situations. I'm telling you this because I'm the bruh sitting behind the door. The government encourages the manufacture and importation of military firearms for the criminals to use. Then they talk to you about gun control so that people who can legitimately get a weapon can't get one. They're talking about you. They're giving the weapons to the criminals. Last time I checked, I didn't go up in a gun store and had to stand in line behind gangsters. I didn't have to wait to get my weapon while a bank robber or a kidnapper or a sexual trafficker was, waiting for their background check to come back. No. If you want to get it like that, you just get your loot right and go down to the dock and meet up with my man who got him on the ship, back up your truck, load them up, and you in business. Y'all don't understand that. But that's okay. I'm going to help you out this morning because I'm the bruh. Sat behind the door. Now, they put these weapons in our communities, and this is intended to foster a feeling of insecurity, which would lead the American people to voluntarily disarm themselves by passing laws against firearms, which they want to do. So using drugs and hypnosis sometimes through the media on you all, they treat you like mental patients. They used to have a program called Orion that the CIA inoculated the desire in these people to open fire on schoolyards and thus inflame the anti-gun lobby. See, every time there's a major shooting, it's always gun control. But there's another reason that they'll bring up gun control, and this is what the brother behind the door want to tell you this morning, is that nobody's thinking about gun control until black people pick up guns. As long as black people are being criminals, they got something for you, pipeline back to slavery. But the moment you start acting like you got some damn sense and want to defend yourself, oh, we got to change the laws. Because the laws, in case y'all haven't figured out, are not these ideas that protect you. The laws are the gates of the cage. You see, when I go to the zoo, if I'm looking at the lion, I'm comfortable looking at this lion that could eat me because they have put a gate around him strong enough to contain him. And if the gate isn't strong enough, they come back and they put in a stronger gate. Now, if you climb over the gate, you deserve what you get. Long live Harambe. Y'all thought I forgot about him. Didn't deserve to die. But the bruh is sitting behind the door this morning. Grand rising to all of you all. The bruh behind the door is telling you that you're puppets, that this whole thing is being orchestrated, and that they're pushing you to a certain solution. Like you push somebody on a chessboard. But what they didn't count on was somebody who knew how to play chess from the other side. You see, it's easy to play chess when your opponent is non-existent. I've done that. I play chess. But when you're sitting across from an adversary that can outthink you, outmaneuver you, out-strategize you, out-reason you, and then on top of that, whip your ass if you don't like it, you don't want to play. Because I'm the bruh sitting behind the door. Oh, I'm on y'all this morning on my morning mental. So they got this sense of insecurity going. It's going to lead y'all to think that you need to disarm yourself. Then they're going to try to brainwash you into believing this. Now watch this now. This plan is well underway. Yes, it is. Here's the part that's really crazy. This is where y'all at right now. Due to this wave of crime that's sweeping the nation, the media will convince the American people that a state of anarchy exists within the major cities. Now, that's why you see the police falling back. The police ain't falling back because they feel guilty about reform. The police are falling back because they're told to, because they know if they fall back, anarchy will reign. And once anarchy reigns, the next part is very, very easy. They're now building this case almost nightly on TV and daily in the newspapers. When the public opinion has totally grabbed that idea, they intend to state that there's a terrorist group. There's a new terrorist group on the scene. And because of that, they now have to declare another state of emergency on top of the one that we already in. They set up this fake crisis. Then they can suspend the Constitution and declare martial law. You know, that's when they got, and see, a lot of y'all don't even realize that you got a lot of arms manufacturers and people like that that's waiting for some shit like that to happen because they got a lot of new weapons they want to test out. Shit that y'all ain't never even heard of. Y'all think we're going to be fighting people? Then you look up and here come a goddamn army of robots. Oh, what are we fighting about? This ain't a fight. Everybody get the fuck out of here. When they show up, we show up. We don't want to fight your appliances. We want to fight you. But then let us go get some appliances and we can sit there like it's an Xbox game all day. That's not what this is about. That's the sign of a coward. They don't want to fight. They want something else to fight for them. That's got to be the most cowardly shit I've ever heard of in my life. And that's coming from the bruh that sat behind the door. Now, but they got to get everybody to go along with it. You see, they're trying to brainwash you into going along with it. So when someone with some sense say, that don't make no sense, everybody look at them like they crazy. Like 5 years ago, I tried to warn y'all about what was happening with BLM, but I knew if I opened my mouth then, all y'all was on the train going with these people. And if I had said something, y'all would have looked at me like I was crazy. So I waited. 5 years later, y'all now saying what I said, that you know damn well that movement is not for you. It was never for you. And they hijacked the black movement. They distracted us from the agenda. And now all of a sudden, they ain't got shit to say. They ain't nowhere in sight. They want everybody to think it's cool fucking by y'all when it's not. So now the bruh that sat behind the door has got up and them came out. And now everybody done woke up like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what we supposed to be doing. Exactly. It's all a system. A lot of money behind it. Big shout out to all my brothers behind bars this morning that's waking up to my voice. I'm right there with you. I've been there. I know what it's like. Just remember, they can lock up the body, but they can't lock up your mind. If we can free your mind, then it won't be nothing but a matter of time till we show up to pop the gates, because it's all falling apart out here. I'm trying to tell you, I know what it's like, my brothers, trying to figure out what's happening out here. I'm here to give y'all the report, whether you in the Fed, whether you in state, whether you in county, whether you just in some little podunk jail down in Hinesville, Georgia, where they had one cell. I was the only one in the whole jail. Let me assure you, if you could come home right now, you would not recognize the world that it is. This right here is like Jiffy Pop popcorn, and it's about to pop the fuck off, and y'all would fit right in, and probably nobody would even recognize you, because most of the criminals are riding around in police cars. They got uniforms. Most of the criminals now got all the money. Most of the criminals can say what they want to say, express their racial attitude. You would think that you just move from one institution to another and that you out on the yard. That's all it is, my brothers. I had to let y'all know. Same thing for all my sisters on lockdown. Don't think I don't know nothing about that either. Yeah, I know the stuff y'all got to deal with and the systems, and I know all the policies. I've been there. I've done that. I want y'all to know ain't nobody forgot about y'all either. I need y'all to keep up hope, because when it happens, it's going to happen fast. Because you got people out there like me. Y'all know me. I'm the bruh. Sat behind the door. And I know I done lost some of my people who came to hear a word from y'all. I know it's a few of y'all that thought you was going to get spiritually uplifted. But I told you once before. When I was young, I remember I watched a movie. And the name of the movie was The Mummy. And the mummy had been around my whole life. They always had this fascination because they were fascinated with our culture. They always had this fascination that when we buried people in ancient Egypt, that, you know, we actually knew a little bit about the afterlife, not the get up and dead body walking around afterlife, but what happened to the spirit, where the spirit went. We knew all those things. We communed with our creator. We understood that there was 3 dimensions to life: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. So when we would wrap up the body, it was not so that they could get up and walk around and kill people. That wasn't part of our culture. It was because when the judgment came, and that everyone is called into account for what they've done, that the dead too shall arise. All those people sitting in Sheol, all the people y'all done missed that done went away talking about, I'm going to miss him. I don't know why, because you're going to see him again. But everybody will be called to accounting. And they were preserving the body so that that ruler or whoever it was would have their body, at least some left of their body, so they could come back. They were just trying to look out for them. But leave it to our enemies to take our culture and twist it around and lie to you about it. So when I was a child, we always had the mummy. The mummy was this, used to fuck me up when I was a kid. Here come the comedy, y'all. I never could understand how somebody wrapped up in bandages who could barely move. How this motherfucker could kill you? People would stand there and just losers would stand there, oh, the mummy. Nobody would ever run. They would just stand there, oh, and the mummy wouldn't do shit but just be in your face like, and motherfuckers would just die. And I'm like, okay, why didn't he run? Because see, it's built into us. Let's flip it. They should make a movie called Black Mummy. Tyler Perry, any of y'all movie producers, do a Black Mummy movie. And don't make it no comedy. Make it realistic as fuck. But every scene where the mummy show up, keep it 100. Don't y'all know how it's going to play out? Me and y'all sitting there talking. Yeah, I told Bob and then we was going, what was that? I don't know. Go check it out. You go check it out. Nah, bro, I ain't checking that shit out. And then the mummy come in. That's the end of that scene. The mummy will be frustrated before the movie is over. Nigga be walking around like, everybody's outrunning me and shit. Finally, he get a text, because we got to make it today. The mummy look at his phone. Who the fuck sold the mummy a phone? But he got a phone. And it says, take off the bandages so you can see what you're doing, so you can move. All right, that's my comedy. I'm sorry, I got completely distracted. The comedy just rolling. I need somebody to do a Black Mummy movie. Anyway, when I saw the mummy as a kid, the idea used to just muck with me. But then, when people run out of originality, they tend to copy what's already done. When you have nothing of your own, you copy what somebody already did. When you couldn't come up with a religion, you copied what somebody already did. When you couldn't tell us what your culture was because you didn't have one, you just took somebody else's. You copied what somebody already did.